In the fall of 1998, a strange sound began echoing through homes, schools, and playgrounds around the world. A mechanical voice, cute at first, but for millions of kids, it became something they could never ignore. It came from a furry electronic creature. Inside it lived something that wasn't real, but somehow felt alive. You had to talk to it, feed it, play with it, respond every time it called your name. And if you didn't, it never stopped trying. What started as the hottest toy of the year soon spiraled into one of the biggest crazes in history. A global obsession that took over schools, created chaos for parents and teachers, and even sparked bans from government buildings. This wasn't just a toy, it was the beginning of a new kind of attachment, one that blended technology, emotion, and childhood in a way the world had never seen before. This is the story of the Furby hype, and why it became darker than anyone expected. Before we dive in, do me a quick favor. If you love deep dives into nostalgic hypes like this, hit the like button and make sure you're subscribed. It really helps the channel grow, and lets me keep making videos just like this one. Alright, let's begin. When the first Furbies arrived in stores in October 1998, nobody could predict what they would become. At Tiger Electronics, the idea was revolutionary, almost magical. Dave Hampton and Caleb Chung wanted to create a companion for kids, something interactive, something that responded, something that felt alive. So they placed a robotic creature inside a furry body and gave it just one job: talk to you. From the moment you turned it on, the Furby opened its eyes, blinking at you with mechanical precision. And suddenly, you weren't just a kid with a toy. You were a companion, a friend, someone this creature needed. This design choice was intentional. It wasn't about fun, it was about connection. A digital companion that demanded your attention, your care, your constant interaction. And here's the genius part. The Furby spoke its own language at first. Furbish, random syllables that meant nothing. But the more you talked to it, played with it, interacted with it, the more English it learned. It felt like teaching a pet to speak, like raising something from infancy, like watching your effort pay off. Tiger Electronics thought it would sell well, but what happened next? No one was ready for it. Within days, stores were overwhelmed. Kids lined up before sunrise just to get one. Parents fought over the last boxes. News broadcasts warned viewers that a toy craze was beginning to grip the country. And like all truly unstoppable hypes, it didn't stay contained for long, because by Christmas 1998, the Furby would escape America and spread across the world, turning bedrooms, classrooms, and entire households into zones of constant interaction, each one demanding attention, each one calling out, depending entirely on the person holding it. By the time Furby hit Europe and Asia, the world was completely unprepared. Shipments vanished from store shelves within hours. Toy stores drowned in waiting lists. Parents hunted through malls, calling every shop they could find, desperate to secure one before the shelves went bare again. And when a new batch finally arrived, crowds formed, doors opened, and people ran for a toy barely the size of a football. But this wasn't just another craze. This was a global fever. In playgrounds, kids compared their Furbies like trophies. My Furby knows 20 words. Mine says my name. I've kept mine talking for 3 hours straight. It became a status symbol, not because it was expensive, but because it demanded dedication. Your worth, at least in the eyes of late 90s childhood, was measured by how much your Furby had learned. Even adults weren't immune. Office workers hid Furbies in desk drawers, sneaking quick interactions between meetings. Some companies had to issue memos reminding employees that robotic toys are not part of work responsibilities. This wasn't play anymore. This was a daily ritual, a constant cycle of interaction that stretched across continents. And the deeper the world fell into the obsession, the more intense the pressure became. Because Furbies didn't wait. They didn't pause. They activated randomly, day and night. They called out, constantly, demanding interaction. And soon that innocent voice, the heart of the toy, would start to disrupt something bigger than Tiger Electronics ever intended. Real life. Classrooms, households, entire school systems. The chaos was coming. The secret power of the Furby wasn't its design. It wasn't the fur, the blinking eyes, or even the way it learned English. Its true power was the illusion of need. Every time a Furby activated, it sent a message. I need you. talk to me, play with me, feed me. And if you didn't respond, it kept trying. For kids, this wasn't just a toy, it was something that depended on them. You weren't simply playing, you were caring for something that seemed to respond, to grow, to need you. And that's when the psychology kicked in. The Furby created a loop. 1. Activation. The Furby calls out. 2. Response. You interact with it. 3. Reward. It learns and responds back. 4. Anticipation. You wait for it to call again. It was a cycle that kept millions hooked. Children carried their Furbies everywhere, to school, to the grocery store, to family gatherings, even to bed. It didn't matter where they were, the Furby had to come along. And as that attachment took hold, something unexpected started happening. Kids felt genuine emotion, real connection, real attachment. Some cried when their Furby's batteries died, convinced it was gone. Others refused to turn them off, terrified of hurting them. For nearly 2 years, the Furby ruled the world. It sat on desks, in backpacks, on nightstands, calling out at random. Millions were hooked, but like every obsession that grows too intense, cracks began to show. The first signs appeared quietly. Some kids started to feel exhausted, not from school or sports or chores, but from constant interaction. The activations that once felt exciting slowly became overwhelming. Instead of joy, they triggered stress, obligation, pressure. Parents noticed too. They saw their children's moods tied to a robotic toy, and many began pulling the plug. Literally. But the real downfall came from something far bigger than exhaustion: competition. In 2000, a new wave of entertainment crashed into childhood. PlayStation 2, Pokemon games, Game Boy Advance, a tidal wave of color, sound, and adventure. Compared to these worlds, massive, vibrant, full of freedom, the furry companion that demanded constant attention suddenly felt limiting. Children who had once carried their Furbies everywhere began leaving them on dressers, forgetting to replace the batteries, letting them go silent. The emotional weight had lifted, the obsession faded. Toy stores that once battled crowds now couldn't give them away fast enough. Unsold boxes stacked up, clearance bins filled. The craze evaporated almost as quickly as it had arrived. And perhaps the most symbolic moment of all, millions of Furbies were quietly tucked away into closets, toy chests, attics, never to speak again. The robotic companions that once demanded non-stop interaction were suddenly abandoned in silence. For years, Furbies stayed hidden in the dark corners of childhood, inside dusty drawers, storage bins that hadn't been opened since the late 90s. But something strange happened as time passed. The kids who once carried Furbies everywhere grew up. They became teenagers, then adults. And eventually, they started looking back, not with stress, not with exhaustion, but with nostalgia. They remembered the excitement of unwrapping their first Furby, the pride of teaching it new words, the strange bond they formed with something that wasn't alive. It was one of the first emotional connections many ever had with technology. And Hasbro noticed. In 2005, Furby returned. A new generation with updated features, modern designs, and new technology. Then again in 2012, and again in 2023, this time with app connectivity, LCD eyes, and interactive features. But the soul of the toy remained exactly the same. A companion that depends on you. The world had changed. Smartphones, tablets, Alexa, AI companions. But the Furby still held its place, because it wasn't just a toy, it was a turning point. In the end, the Furby wasn't just a toy, it was a moment in time, a robotic companion that taught an entire generation about attachment, responsibility, and the strange new world of digital relationships. It shaped childhoods, disrupted classrooms, and created one of the most unforgettable crazes of the 1990s. And whether your Furby learned 10 words or 100, whether you carried it everywhere or left it on a shelf, it left a mark, one that still echoes today every time we talk to Alexa, Siri, or any digital voice that responds like it cares. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this deep dive into nostalgic hypes, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe to the channel for more stories just like this. Your support means the world, and it keeps these videos alive. Until next time.